possibility.
But if they walk away, I'm sorry,
No.
a little bit about it. If they walk away and they don't do cleanup, they have a bond.
They do.
That's not gonna cover.
They won't pay real property taxes.
So they have the only position I see is, hey, we'll walk away from this thing and that's it.
Yeah, it's very possible. I mean,
You know, and if we get some money, we'll walk away with money.
Right,
If we
we'll
win,
still
we'll
walk
walk away with money. And if we don't get money, we're just gonna walk away anyway.
yeah, they've never denied that position. They profess, oh no, that's much like BP, like we hadn't even considered that.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy certainly is a possibility, but we haven't even talked about it, we haven't considered it, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So it remains to be seen what happens. And there's a whole lot more to be forthcoming on this, depending, because as you know, there's so much money involved that one on those motions, which were previously decided, our time period within which to appeal has not run yet. Depending upon what happens at this stage with this trial, I would assume the adverse party, or the party who feels most aggrieved, would appeal into the second department. So you could be looking at years yet of litigation over this, unless it somehow can be resolved.
Well, if they plan to walk away, then
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
I think for the public's information, this tax certiorari goes back to year 2000.
Correct.
And so this is a culmination of many years. And we here in the town board, Phil Cantorino, who's the Commissioner of Finance, myself, the assessor, Dennis Kaplicki, and two lawyers before him, we've been in negotiations with the Altieri landfill people. Thought we had it on the hook maybe 2-3 years ago, and then so we thought we negotiated an answer, and then nothing happened. Also, the school got an attorney who's been involved in this for the last 2 or 3 years as well. So this is we'd love to be able to negotiate settlements to these things because it's so expensive to go to court, but it wasn't meant to be. So that's where we're at on this one.
I have a quick question, just to
Yeah.
learn something. There's a lot of dry stuff. Can the layman understand this? Who would a judge get to read it, digest, and give him guidance? I mean,
Unless you're very experienced in it, it's very difficult to follow. It's very detailed, dependent upon certain theories in the real estate field, definitional terms, etc. And the judge and/or law secretary who works for him will be responsible for either experience drawing on or educating themselves in terms of.
Well, that's the point. I mean, you wouldn't expect the judge to understand or even be that.
Not unless they, in fact, just so in fact, no point well taken, because in prior procedure, all tax certiorari cases were handled in White Plains by a single judge sitting continuously in cases.
Okay, so you should be familiar with it.
Correct. And that was done, that was a tradition and policy for years, probably upwards of 30 years since I came out here. Just recently, for whatever reason, all the departments, 9 of them in New York, decided to send them back to the individual local counties. And at the present time, we have 2 judges who are assigned, not exclusively, but awfully close to the tax certiorari calendar, which is Judge Bartlett and Judge Ritter. And they're taking the long line, and they're, I assume, getting educated along the process.
Certiorari of this magnitude, be educated along the process in such a short span of time.
Yeah, it's not easy, and I think what you'll see, I could be wrong, but I think you'll see a substantial delay between end of the trial, be it tomorrow or this week, and the actual decision, because it's going to take a long time. I mean, you're talking thousands of pages.
How long could you project how long it would take?
No way of knowing, but you could take anywhere from certainly a month to 6 months, 9 months. I assume there is some interest in resolving it, if for no other reason than our taxable status dates in the next tax year.
Would you say that if somebody did it faster than a month, they really didn't do their homework?
I'd rather not comment on it.
That's why
I made a mistake.
It's such a different tax cert. It's so complex and becoming thousands of pages, just so that assessment.
Yeah.
How would a layman, someone not experienced, even
in fact, in fairness, in fact, I have some of them with the car with me. There's 2 boxes of our appraisal. We have 8 volumes. you almost get dizzy when you've got to keep referring back and forth to the terminology. It'd be like a non-electrician learning like what the hell the code in the state of New York
As Bill was
says.
saying, you all use it.
Yeah, it's
The
tough.
guy's done this every day, and you do it for 10 years, well, they'll understand the terminology and come to a rational, hopefully, vision. Someone might just like computer says, so, yeah, okay.
Right.
Yes, yeah, I understand this one.
And we have a real philosophical difference in terms of the methodologies the two appraisers have used. This was pointed out in the court in opening statements, that that alone is going to be a major issue in terms of, you know, the
And
court
the layperson.
understanding.
I'm just trying to understand the system.
To the layperson, it was obvious that the two attorneys were debating the methodology.
Correct.
I understood that.
Sure.
Beyond that, it was.
Oh, they get really deep. I mean, it was, you know, it's like probably like an operation. It's very intellectually interesting to another doctor or physician, and yet the layman just like, well, what's the outcome? Does the patient just survive, or, you know, just get it, or, you know, whatever, you know.
The operation, did we get the right hand?
Patient dies, I know.
Yeah. Did we operate on the right hand, or we supposed to left hand? I'm not sure.
And see, what's going to happen next is, you have to remember, and I'm not defending it or criticizing it, it took, I think, upwards of 4 years for those motions to be decided. Okay, remember the motions?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it was a long time in deciding those. And I think what will happen here is, assuming we end tomorrow, everybody will sum up, and then there'll be certain issues of law which the judge will ask both sides to brief, including the methodology argument. And that could take anywhere from 30 days to 2 months just to submit the briefs so that he can make a learned decision. So it's hard to say, but procedurally, I think, you know, it's not the end of the day tomorrow.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next item is we need to reschedule the public hearings for Timber Trail LLC and the stop sign proposal for Hamilton Park. They did not get in the newspaper due to misunderstanding, I guess. Now, what we need to be doing is, I think we probably ought to have Val put all these things in, as busy as you are.
Well, unfortunately, that's what happened. I missed the filing dates on these things. But in fairness, they've got to be, these two especially, have to be written properly. And again, it's one of those things I just have to get done. In the Timber Trails situation, that is to pursue, if you will, their constitutional right for a public hearing.
Right.
And on the text of the local law, that should be in existence before it's published, because that's part of the publication.
Well,
So-
could you work then with...
Yeah, not a problem.
Val?
In fact, I just made a note to myself, what I do, Val, is I'm going to speak to the Independent Republican tomorrow. If they'll give me time to publish it on Wednesday, we can go with an early date. If we miss Wednesday as a publication, then we're going to have to push it out.
Can we do this on Thursday night then, to establish the...
What are you saying?
Yeah, what I'd like to do is establish, for purposes of tonight,
Right.
a public hearing date, I'll tell you when, tonight's the 26th, knowing we published on the 28th.
21st.
I apologize, I get it wrong, I'm looking at July. 21st of June, so to get it in for 10 days, we could actually do it at our July 6th meeting, assuming they would take publication this week.
Right.
I won't know that till tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So it's either the 6th,
We have to get it in by 12 tomorrow.
yeah, which again, I don't foresee a problem, but I got to talk.
All right, would someone make a motion? Which one are you talking about, both of them?
I would say both of them, yeah.
Okay, would someone like to make a motion in that regard? We have, okay, on the 6th, or 7:30 is thereafter?
That's correct. That would be the verbiage. 7:30 is soon thereafter, the second one 7:35 or soon thereafter. And the only change might occur if for some reason they won't publish on Wednesday, then we'll have to
Then we'll do it on
revisit it on Thursday night.
28th, is that right?
Yeah. I made that one.
Okay, is there a second?
One second?
Oh,
Okay. Any discussion?
Now you have a question.
yeah, well, this is not really a discussion, but do the people that live so far, what are the boundary lines where people have to be notified about this public hearing when it has an effect on a property owner that's close by to, say, Timber Trail?
Heck, no one.
Huh?
No one. Again, if you're confusing the notifications with subdivision applications.
That's why I'm asking, I'm not an expert on that.
Right, that's usually between 300 and 500 feet. It'll vary depending on the ordinance. But these are generic. even though they affect perhaps a certain property or parcel area, no one is required to get individual notice. So that's why you publicize as best you can, and then you could always, if you felt obligated, notify surrounding property owners, but it's not required.
We get the press.
And what...
Yeah, that's ideally what you would do.
Put this in?
Indeed,
Now, just to be fair here,
right.
people in